Why they use the word complement, guys? Where did that come from?
Doesn't make sense, 90.
Yeah, write it down. Complement means if you add them up, it give you what? If they add up to be 180, we call it supplement. If they add up to be 90 degree, we call them what? So you have to get used to this. Now give me two angles of their complement other than 30 and 60. 45 and 45, what else? How about 20 and 70? 10, 80. 15 and what? 75. Even 1 and 89. Agree? And look what happened when I want to, this is interesting. When I want to find the sine of 30 degrees, this is the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this direction. Sine of 30, the opposite is this one. So that'd be what? C over 2. Hypotenuse is this one. Take a look at it, guys. Isn't that this one and this one behave the same? If I simplify this, multiply by 2 again, you get the same exact answer. So it's redundant. Why they're the same? Because this guy and this guy are what? Complement, isn't it? When you add them up, give you what? 90 degrees. So I can actually close my eyes and say, hey, I kind of know cosine of 30 degrees. It should be the same as sine of what? 60. And how much was sine of 60? So I don't need to keep writing. I can actually use the property. If somebody say, this is new, what's the tangent of 30? What's the tangent of 60? Isn't that tangent is opposite over what? So opposite is this guy. Adjacent is this guy. These two cancel out, it'll leave you with what? So once I know that one, if I want to get sine of tangent of 30, it become what? Your opposite is this one. Your adjacent is this one. But this time when I reduce them, instead of giving me square root of 3, give me 1 over what? Now, do you guys agree this is the same as cotangent of 60? Because when you add the angle, give you what? 9, isn't it? So this is not just tangent of 60, this is also cotangent of what? So we're killing two birds with what?
One shot.
One shot. Yeah. Okay. But now that I know this, what happens if I want cosecant of 60? I'm curious. What do I have to do? Flip it. So it becomes 2 what? Of course, you have to rationalize it. What happens if I want secant of 60? Flip this one. They give you what? 2. Now, a student complained, they said, oh my God, you don't want us to memorize all of these? Not really. Yes. Let's go back to unit circle. And then we said this line is what? this is tangent, this is what? Sine, and this is cosine. One of the things that I do, today is Monday, I wish you guys can do this if you have time, every day. Spend half an hour play with the unit circle. What do you mean by playing? Let's say I split this one to 3 pieces. Obviously, if this is what? 90 degree, this is what? 0 degree, 180 to 7. Okay. Now, let's say I ask you just graph sine of 30 degree. So that's 30 degrees, isn't it? So if you connect it here, this is your 30 degree, which is really what? Pi over 6. According to our calculation, if I go down, how much was sine of 30 degree, guys? 1/2, right? Okay, so you go here, you said this should be what? 1/2. That is sine of 30 degrees. What is this should be? That's cosine of 30 degrees. Once you see one of them is 1/2, the other one is guaranteed gonna be what? The other guy. Square root of 3 over what? 2. And how much is radius? 1. And then if you stretch this one, this become what? We just found out that it's square root of 3 over what? In the workshop, we were talking that this is actually what? Cotangent line. And if I want to show you the cotangent, I have to let this radius stretch it. This become what? Cotangent of 30 degrees, which obviously is what? Yeah. So I need this picture in your notebook because you're gonna do this for all the angles. You're gonna just remember there's only one procedure. Vertical is sine, horizontal is cosine, outside tangent, keep letting it go, then you will get the cotangent out of it. And one reason to act like this, because if this is 30, this is also what? Okay. So go with me here. This is where I know that you guys are paying attention. How much is the sine of 0 degree, guys? Remember, the sine is supposed to be this line. At 0 degree, how much is this height? 0. Okay. Then sine of 130 degree. How much is that? 1 over 2. How much was sine of 45? These are the thing I said, you cannot skip it. You cannot postpone them. If you notice, these values are keep getting bigger and bigger, isn't it? Once you get to 90 degree, then you get what? 1. So, I don't know, there was a Greek mathematician that named Sarus. He made, I don't know if you saw it in high school or not, those of you who took trigonometry in high school, this is what he did. He said, if this is sine 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. He tried to make situation a lot easier. This is what he did. He called this one a square root of 0 over 2, square root of 1 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, square root of 4. That's how I personally memorized it. It was so easy. Start with a 0/2, all the way to the 4/2. Why? Well, because the square root of 0 is how much? How much is square root of 0? 0 divided by 2, 0. How much is the square root of 1? 1. That'll give you 1/2. There's nothing I can do for these, but how much square root of 4? 2. So 2/2 will give you what? It's fun. So he did that, and then I added to it, and I said, I'm gonna go one step further. What happens if I want cosine? They're complement, aren't they? So I switch all these what? Values. Like cosine of 0 is 1, then what? Then what? I didn't even have to look at the unit circle, I just switched them. No, I switched order. Then it turned out I got greedy, and I said, I want to also find the what? Tangent. How do I find the tangent then?
Sine over cos.
Just divide the sine by what? Cosine, you get it. Like for example, 0 divided by 1, 0. If I divide these two, what's gonna happen, guys? Divide this by this. 1/2 divided by square root of 3/2. I get 1 over square root of 3, isn't it? Divide these two, what are you gonna get? 1. If you divide these two, you get what? But in workshop, we talk about 90 degrees, remember guys? Tangent has problem at 90 degrees. Why? If you divide 1/0, what are you gonna get guys? Undefined. I got greedy again. What happens if I want cotangent? What should I do? Yeah, just what? Swap it, yeah. So I'm gonna start with what? Undefined, square root of 3, 1 over square root of 3, and what? Any opportunity I get this semester, I'm gonna prove all of these graphically. You don't need what I'm trying to say is, let's say you sit during a test. If you just know the first row, you can get manually, you can calculate all of them. You don't need to memorize it. Now let's say, for example, what happens if I want cosecant? What should I do, right? What's the character of cosecant? Which one is related to?
It's 1 over sine.
Yes. So all I have to do, flip it, isn't it? So this becomes 1/0, which you guys know is what? Undefined. Flip this one. 2. Flip this one. This used to be, remember, this used to be square root of 2, isn't it? If you flip it, what are you gonna get?
Square root of 3.
This one is ugly. If you flip it, you get 2 square root of 3/3. Flip this one, give you what? What happens if I want secant? Let's finish it. Flip the what? Cosine. If you flip 1, you get what? Flip this ugly one. This one used to be 1 over square root of 2. If you flip it, it just gives you what? Flip this one, give you 2. Flip this one.
Undefined.
That's all of them. That's all of them you need. But unfortunately, this is only for what? Yeah, this is just for quarter number 1. God save us. Now we have to do quarter number 2, quarter number 3, and quarter number what? 4. And that hurt. You're gonna get dizzy. So, but the good news is, just how much time we have. Let's just concentrate one angle at a time. How's that, Dave? Because if you go and try to learn all 4 of them, your brain gonna basically what?
Not.
Hate you. And you're gonna get confused, and you're gonna hate trigonometry, you're gonna change your major, you're gonna become history major, and then I'll probably see you in one of these on the bridge, want to kill himself or herself. Don't do that. Let's just take one step at a time. For example, let's just go after family of what? The way we did it. 30 degrees. Okay? And that's what we did it for a reason. We did it for a day like this. Okay, so see, this is 1 unit, isn't it? Negative. So what I used to do when I was a student, I used to cut it half, and that become what? 1/2. Now, if it's 1/2, you can go to the right, and then you can go to the what? Left. If you go to the right and connect them, this is also what? 1/2, isn't it? If this is 1/2, this height is 1/2, this height is also what? 1/2. Now we know this angle is what? 30 degrees. My question is, how much is this angle should be? How much is it? It's not hard to find.
90 degrees. 150.
150, very good. How did you get 150?
Because 30, it's like 30 and 60.
Yeah.
90 plus 60, 150.
He's talking about these 2 triangles are equal, isn't it? So if this is 30, this leftover should be also what? 30. But the problem with this one, that's not a standard angle. Standard angle always start from right side of the x-axis, go all the way to there. So that's standard angle. He's saying if this is 30, this should be what? 150. So now we say sine of 30 is the same as sine of what? And both of them are what? 1/2. Now these 2 angles, because when you add them up, it give you 180, we call them what? Supplement. So I said supplement has to do with 180. Complement has to do with what? 90. And then it's nice to write down the radian form. So if this is pi over 6, this become what? Thank you. So far, you're gonna see this, good news is, for another 12 weeks, over and over, we're gonna keep asking, how much is sine of 150? How much is sine of 5 pi over 6? 1/2. All you have to care that these are what? Family of what? Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody give you a huge angle. That's huge angle, isn't it? How do I know it's huge angle? Because it's exceeding what? 2 pi. When it exceeds 2 pi, it means more than 1 rotation. Okay. So, what I'm going to do with it? The only thing we know, just looking at pi over 6, mentally you're prepared to say, oh, this is family of what? 30 degrees. Because it has pi over 6 in it. Now, you can do a lot of things. You can, for example, break it down to, let's say 23 is what? 18 pi. You can actually call it 24 pi minus pi. Can I? Can I do that? Why am I doing that?
24 is,
Because when you
So
go,
we can do
yeah.
124 by 6.
Anytime you exceed the limit, when you go around the circle, how much is that value? 2 pi. If you're looking at family of pi over 6, do you guys agree that this is 2 pi? Right? So I'm looking at denominator, I created 2 pi. So look at 12 pi is way smaller than what? 23 pi, isn't it? What do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of any family of what? 2 pi. If you give me, for example, 390 degrees, oh, that's too big. So I split it to 360 plus what? And I don't need that one. That just give me a what? 1 extra rotation. So that's why I selected 24 pi minus pi, because now I can write it as what? 24 pi over 6 minus what? Negative? Now, how much is 24 pi divided by 6? 4 pi. And 4 pi means how many rotations, guys? 2 rotations, isn't it? So you have permission to totally what? Get rid of it. What is left out of this? This one, isn't it? Okay. Where is negative pi over 6, guys? If this is going positive pi over 6, this is going what? Negative what? Pi over 6. How much do you think this value should be?
330.
Negative 630. How much is this height? Positive or negative? Negative. The size is the same, isn't it? This is 1/2, this is also what? 1/2. Except this guy is positive, this guy is what? Negative. So your answer is negative what? That's it. We're going to do this a lot till you guys be very comfortable with it. Now let's finish our job. So if I go down, this is negative what? 1/2, isn't it? How much is this angle, guys? How did you get 210? That's correct.
180 plus 30.
Everybody agree? See, this is 180, isn't it? Half is 360. And I just calculated these angles are all equal. If this is 30, this is also what? 30. So we added 30 to 180, now we're getting what? 200 what? 10, which you guys know is a 7 pi over what? So you can write it as sine of 210. That is a family of 30, but it's what? It's negative. And if I go across these streets, what's gonna happen there? Get rid of that one. How much is this angle?
330.
Everybody agree? Why 330?
Because you're subtracting 30 from 360.
Yeah, this was 360, isn't it? But I'm how much short? 30, so it become what? 330, which is really what? 11 what? Pi over 6. So we say sine of what? So let's make it life simple, guys. If it's 210, negative 1/2. 330 is also what? Negative 1/2. If it's 30 is 1/2. If it's 150 is also what? So you have 2 positive and 2 what? Negative. And I'm not gonna overwhelm you, I'm gonna take one step at a time, because this is, I did it again. I did it to all my shirts. What do you think, guys? It's not that bad, is it? Okay. So, now hold your notes, take a piece of paper.